here's a little sneak peek of what we're making today. Hello everybody, welcome back to Flower Club, the second Flower Club of January. I'm very excited because we have some beautiful teddy bear sunflowers this week and I love them, they're one of my faves. So let's see what else we have today. All right, so we have some beautiful ginger foliage. It's called Gladioli. Super cute teddy bear sunflowers. It's going to be a simple yet effective arrangement with lots of height. A little bit of a taller vase, it's about 25-30 centimeters tall, with a bit of a wider opening because we do have some very thick stems. All right, we're going to get straight into our prepping, which isn't going to be crazy today. I'm just going to take these lowest leaves off of my ginger. And the great thing about the sunflower, I'm going to leave these leaves on. So obviously all of my gladi stems are pretty tightly closed at the moment, and the buds, the flowers will start budding from right here. I do have an example of what it will start to look like over a couple of days, or they might have started to bloom a little bit like this. They do have really wonderful longevity, but they do, they can need some encouragement to open sometimes, but you can expect them to start looking like this within a couple of days after you design. Gorgeous, something to look forward to. So if you do want to encourage them to open a little bit, I would recommend some warm water and put them in the sun. I've seen people even put them in their car, like drive around, just leave in the boot of their car for a while, because it is quite a, it gets very hot in a car when it's just sitting out in the sunshine. So if you do that, if you do want to kind of really encourage them to open, you can definitely do that. But they will eventually open over a couple of days. And you can see that the blooms will bud all the way up here, and little, really, really tight kind of top piece. There are no flower buds inside here. You want to snap that off. For example, if you wanted to take the height down a little bit so you don't have as much of this excess green up here from when your blooms are budding, you can just snap that off. There won't be any flowers coming out of there. So I'm going to leave it on just to increase the height, make it nice and tall. But they're native to South Africa and they come in almost any color, from white like this even to a really dark, almost black color. So let's get started with this prepping. Just going to tear the leaves. There we go. Side, I have my vase right here, and I'll start by planting ginger foliage. Obviously, we're really tall right now. I want lower leaf to meet the lip of the vase, so I want to take it here, and I'll cut off that excess down there. Measure against the vase like this, snip, a little bit more against the vase, 45-degree angle, loudest. Okay, the gladdies. The stems are round, but because of these fanned leaves that come off the side, it almost makes a bit of an oval shaped stem. So what I find the easiest way to do to arrange before I put them in the vase, because they'll go in the vase and they'll be facing the front, and then they'll want to flip sideways because they're not perfectly round. All right, I'm going to arrange my gladdies in my hand before putting them in the vase, just to get all the heights that I'm wanting. I'm kind of wanting 3 tall ones and then 2 smaller ones. If you just want to put them in the vase, go for it. And then against my vase, I'll measure where I want them to be. So rather than dropping them right down, and so the lowest gladdy flower is going to be right at the bottom, some space for my sunflowers, I'm just going to cut it off there. So my sunflowers. And if you're having a little trouble cutting through the very thick stem, you can just give it a little nick, snap it, and then cut through the rest. A very tall arrangement, and all of these little flowers are going to start blooming above the sunflowers and look so gorgeous. I know that this is not the color that you'll be having, but they'll start blooming and it'll just look really gorgeous. If your vase does have a whitish opening like this one, about 15 centimeters, is a good idea to start with a bit more foliage left on the lower part of the gladius rather than stripping them all the way to the very, very top stem, just to keep a little bit of bulk for the vase, and then you can always take away as you go. So I hope you enjoy these sunny sunflowers, and I can't wait to see you next time.